Russian Superjet 100 aircraft equipped with foreign engines will remain operational in Russian airline fleets until 2028 to 2029, following a recent extension of the service life of the Russian-French SaM146 engines. Dmitry Yadrov, the head of Rosaviatsiya, made the announcement during a meeting of the Federation Council Committee on Economic Policy on October 7, 2025. Given the extensive international sanctions and the stoppage in Western supply chains that have affected Russia since 2022, the decision, made in cooperation with the United Engine Corporation, is a crucial step for the country's civil aviation. The core of Russia's effort to upgrade its civil aviation sector is the Sukhoi Civil Aircraft Company's regional aircraft, the Superjet 100. The SaM146 engines, a joint product of France's Safran aircraft engines and Russia's NPO Saturn, are among the many foreign components used in this aircraft, which was assembled through extensive international cooperation. Following a productive 10 years of service in Russia, serial production stopped in 2022 because of the geopolitical environment and Western sanctions. These foreign components are still used by about 160 Superjet 100s operated by Russian airlines today. Maintaining the operational readiness of the nation's regional jet fleet depends critically on extending the SaM146 engine's airworthiness lifespan. In his speech, Yadrov clarified that Rosaviatsiya's acceptance of engine resource extension not only reduces the possibility of grounding a significant part of the current fleet, but also gives the Russian aerospace sector breathing room as it transitions to domestically produced alternatives. In particular, airlines can continue to operate their Superjet 100s into 2028 or 2029 thanks to the resource extension, which supports ongoing domestic aviation connectivity despite supply chain limitations. The PD-8 engine, which powers the import-substituted Superjet, or SJ100, is the result of efforts to replace the SaM146 with a completely domestic alternative. It was originally expected that the SJ100 would be introduced in late 2023, with the first 2 units scheduled for delivery to Aeroflot Group. However, the start of SJ100 deliveries has been delayed until 2026 due to technical and regulatory issues. For the Russian aviation sector, this shift is a major turning point, as it is part of a larger initiative to strengthen national aerospace capabilities, overcome sanctions, and regain technological independence. There are currently 1,135 aircraft in the total fleet of 76 Russian airlines, 1,088 of which are in active service. Yadrov gave a relatively cautious assessment of fleet preservation, predicting that by 2030, more than 300 aircraft, 230 of which are of Russian origin, and 200 helicopters, 190 of which are domestically made, may be retired. These figures demonstrate how strongly the industry depends on timely maintenance, capacity expansion, and regulatory flexibility. To guarantee continued airworthiness and operational continuity, Rosaviatsiya introduced new procedures for certifying alterations to aviation equipment. These challenges have been eased by a significant legislative action. Changes to the Russian Air Code now allow the use of analog components and the granting of PMA, or Parts Manufacturer Approval, certifications. Given the extensive restrictions on international parts and logistical support, this legal flexibility is highly useful. Since early 2023, Russian regulatory bodies have re-examined the framework for import substitution, engineering certification, and technical authorization, focusing not only on engine components, but also on avionics and vital flight safety systems, according to official documents and aerospace technical news. The average fleet age in Russia, according to Yadrov, is approximately 14 years for the top 15 airlines, which is much younger than the fleets of many major European and American carriers. Russia may benefit from this relatively young fleet, which allows the sector to spend more on upkeep and domestic development. Rosaviatsiya is aware of ongoing safety concerns with outdated Soviet-built aircraft, particularly the Antonov An-2, An-24, An-26, and Mi-8 helicopters, which are still widely used on regional flights. These aircraft are involved in a growing number of incidents. Outdated avionics, obsolete flight control and navigation systems, and a lack of professional retraining for flight crews are the main causes of these difficulties, according to Yedrov and other industry experts. One factor contributing to safety issues is the lack of modern flight data monitoring and analysis. To lower incident rates in the legacy fleet, full-scale modernization, including digital navigation technology, improved pilot training, and real-time flight safety analytics, is required, according to Russian technical experts cited by aviation publications. The shift from foreign-engineered platforms, such as the original Superjet 100, to the domestically powered SJ-100 is more than just technological. It includes regaining control of the certification chain within Russia, extending resources through domestic engineering oversight, and establishing new legal frameworks that guarantee support for analog replacement parts. For instance, the PD-8 engine, developed and tested over the last 3 years, passed rigorous modular certification in accordance with Russian federal aviation regulations. The United Engine Corporation's documentation of these tests and their successful completion solidified the engine's position as the cornerstone of Russia's regional jet import substitution campaign. Overall, the continued use of Superjet 100 aircraft powered by SaM146 engines into 2028 and 2029 is an engineering and policy accomplishment rather than a temporary measure. While absorbing the shocks of global isolation and supply chain disruptions, it ensures the continuation of medium and short-haul domestic air services, serving as an essential link for hundreds of towns. Russia's civil aviation will gradually regain independence as SJ-100 deliveries begin and legislative changes take effect, providing more resilience against geopolitical uncertainty and establishing a strong foundation for future growth. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, please take our channel membership, which is very affordable, to encourage us